Hi, Sam. Welcome back, Trinity Art Club members. Welcome back to the studio. This is part 2 of the still life. This is a study that I'm doing, and I know this. Anyway, I'm doing a 16 by 20, but I'm doing a study to make sure I don't get any troubles in the larger size on an 8 by 10. This is still life photo that I took here in the studio. Still life photo wasn't all that great because I simply don't have the correct lighting nor the skills really to do photography. Anyway, we'll continue on this. We blocked in for the most part, got the background in. I've sort of located where I think I'm going to put the flowers. So we'll continue, maybe resolve some of the grapes here. I think the value of these grapes are way too light, maybe 1 or 2 values too light. 1.5 maybe. Anyway, I need to darken those down. Not too much because I think I want the center of interest for the most part in this area, the wine glass, the vase, and then somehow try to pull the eye up in the flowers or the flowers down into the wine glass. Anyway, some sort of movement like this. I may take this candle out because it may be conflicting with where I want the eyes to go. I don't know yet. We'll see. Anyway, that's the reason I'm doing a study. I apologize for the glare here on my palette. There's no way, I don't think I can get around that and have enough light that it keeps my painting where it's light enough for you to see the color going on. Alright, so we'll start this. I probably won't talk too much, and I'll actually in post-production speed up 2 or 3 times so that you don't have to sit and watch this forever. Alright, so here we go. My palette is not clean because I'm doing a landscape, and these are the colors that I'm using in that landscape right now, and I don't want to lose them. I've actually got 3 paintings, 4 paintings going on at one time, and I think that may be characteristic of leaving beginning painting a little bit. When you're back when I was a beginner, I only had 1 painting and work at one time, and I think as you gain some skill and some confidence, trying to keep that itch scratched painting, you end up working on more than 1 painting at a time. I don't know if that's true for everyone, but I'm finding it is true for me. Alright, so here we go. I don't know exactly where I'm going to start today. I think I'm going to block in the stems and at least many, if not most, of the flowers. Trying to keep my edges straight. So we'll see how it goes. Still don't like the color of my vase. Not sure what I'm going to do there yet. So let's get started. Looking over at my reference material and going to try to mix up some paint that will match the colors of the stems or something close to it, which is mainly brown. And that brown is way too much chroma, and so I want to gray that down some. Now I got it way too light. Now I'm grayed down, but I may be too light of a value. And that's getting close. I think. Maybe still too light. We'll put it up there and see what happens. Oh yeah, way too gray. Way too gray. I graded all right. And lightened it up way too much. So we'll try this again. And I've noticed painting with all these lights, I don't get the same. Not too bad. Now I've lost the drawing. That's way too big. Oh, where's my paper towels? Here we are. That's more better. So I want one to come up this way. Something like that. One coming from here down. All right. That probably is too much curve. Well, I'm not liking that brown. And I'm not tickled with that brown at all, that color. So let's see if we can't just get them blocked in. I'll come back and add some color later on. So I'm just trying to get the stems in where I think they should go. And as we get further along and I like where the stems are, then I'll come in and change the hue on them and the temperature. It's way too gray. And I've got a problem there on the right hand side. There's 3 stems that are becoming very symmetrical. Now I got 4 stems that are very symmetrical. Almost perfect alignment. So need to fix one of those. Yep, right there. We'll just wipe one of them out maybe. Yeah, there we go. Wipe it out. Redo it. Way too evenly spaced still. But we'll fix that as we go on. Right now I'm just trying to get in the basic location. Get some hint of ones in the background. Adding a little burnt umber there. Burnt umber and a smidge of raw sienna. A lot more burnt umber. Let's see what happens. And I got a little yellow ochre coming in also. The size of that one right there in the middle one I'm working on now is way too large. I fix that later on. I try to fix it now, but I don't get it correct. So we'll see later. And down at where the stems meet the base, that'll all be colored in almost entirely in almost a black color. And then if you'll remember the reference material. All right, so now I'm going to start on the flowers. I'm going to use a little liquid because I want the flowers to look as if they're a little more glossy, help them stand out a little bit. I'm using alizarin and white to block in the major real estate where the flowers are going to go. Pretty close where I blocked them out earlier. I actually scrubbed them out, took off the paint. I'm going a lot warmer, a lot more in the red than the photograph. The photograph, the colors were pretty washed out, and the flowers were not as pink or red as I wanted them. So I've deliberately went more towards the red hue and then lighten them to get into the pink area. So I'm using alizarin and cad red medium, and I'll add a little purple and obviously some white to lighten it up. Purple to cool them down, knock them down a little bit, move them a little over the cooler side, especially the centers, to help give depth. So I'm now trying to get the ones in the background that are not noticeable. I wish I'd have left that one in the background. I brought it forward by adding more color, more hue. Again, using alizarin, and a touch of tor, and there's some purple going in to warm them up. Helps with the depth. You're already seeing that even though the hue's not really correct, now I've added some yellow ochre and went way too far to the yellow side. No problem. We can fix that. What you want to watch yourself is don't let the flower petals grow too much. Once you've got them sort of blocked in, stay within the boundaries of that outline that you've established. So if you're changing color, stay within and don't grow them or they end up being way too big. And again, I'm trying to get those flowers. You can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them sort of at a diagonal going from top left down towards the wine glass, trying to keep those lighter to help move the eyes down to the wine glass. And the more I'm thinking, I think that candle's going to come out of here. I think it's just too much competition to take my eye somewhere I really don't want it to go. Want the eyes to stay on the flowers, the wine glass, and the green grapes on the right hand side. Now the green grapes, again, I got to knock down in value a lot. So I've added a little more purple, a little darker alizarin, putting the centers in the flowers to give them some depth. Still shaping them a little bit. And I end up going a little too light. I wish I'd have left them right about here. I end up adding too much light to them. Now that I'm looking at it here. But easy to fix. We'll see what happens when we get the wine glass and the grapes and the tablecloth done. But it's a good start. I'm liking it. Got some depth. Eye movement is not exactly right yet. But when we put the green grass, remember the reference material has some green grass coming out of that picture. I'll use it to help move the eye over to that wine glass. And the wine glass, when I finish the wine glass, will help a lot too. Right now it's just sort of blocked in. I got a little highlight there just to give me a sense of depth in that wine glass, even though it's a long ways from being finished. So there's where I added too much light. That's too white. And I regret that. I'll fix it. And I think I actually have to get in trouble. I get in trouble on every one of my paintings and end up, and it may be just the way rookie painters like me are. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the greats were that way too. They just kept working at it until they got it where they liked it. But I was so concerned that I wanted the eye to go right there, just about a little to the right of where the brush was just at. Right in there's a triangle of flowers right above my brush is where I want the eye to initially go. And I think I'd do that, but I got a little too light on those outer flowers, and especially that one on top. And so we're about to get the flowers knocked in here. The third part will work on the grapes and the vase and the candle, even though I think at some stage I'm going to take that candle out. So looking at the reference painting, or reference photograph again, see how we're doing against it. So join me on part 3. We'll pretty much leave the flowers alone for right now until we get the rest of the painting done. And we'll see what happens. Anyway, there's the reference photo. Hope you come back and visit in part 3. I hope you enjoyed. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way I know that someone's actually interested.